I don't know about you, but it is very easy for me to get in one of these homemaking ruts during the winter time. It looks beautiful with all of the snow, but being stuck inside the house with kids most of the time, and we send them outside to play quite a bit, but as you know, it's a lot of effort to get them out there, and they get cold quickly, so then they come back in. It means that a lot of these homemaking tasks that are easier other times of the year when your kids spend tons of time playing outside are a lot more demanding and repetitive. Other times of the year, I don't feel like I'm cleaning all day, tidying and chasing people around, putting the different items away and drying wet snow clothes. But during this time of year, I definitely feel that a lot more, and I can feel a bit uninspired, unmotivated. And I want to talk a bit about that today and some of the things that possibly you can do, I can do to help get out of that homemaking rut. I was looking back in my camera roll from pictures last summer, as I do in the winter time, the fresh flowers, the barefoot days out in the garden picking herbs. Those to me are easily motivating. I usually am feeling it. It takes a lot more effort this time of year, for me at least. My first tip is to get dressed, possibly put on makeup, and if you have a small baby, a baby wrap. I don't currently have a small baby. My current baby can toddle around the house and just get into things and make messes, but at least he doesn't require me to hold him all day. But when you have a small baby, I'd say any baby under age 1, and if you have a baby that's a little bit more demanding, maybe beyond that, it can feel like, how could I ever get anything done? And it was such a lifesaver for me to have a baby wrap. I remember when Victor was 3 months or so, sitting there, drinking my coffee, really feeling like, how am I gonna get anything done today? And it's weird because it's like each time I forget that the baby wrap exists, because each day you have to make the decision again, like, I'm gonna put this on, I'm gonna get up, and I have stuff I have to do. I'm gonna tuck the baby in and carry on. If you're not in a season of small babies, just getting dressed and making yourself feel ready for the day, whether for you that's putting on shoes, putting on makeup, brushing your hair and throwing it in a claw clip or a bun or a braid, gives you a sense that you are ready to get something done. You're not just lounging around all day. I think this can really help shift our mindset. During the new year, a lot of us have a goal of eating healthier, of incorporating our vitamins, probiotics. Every morning, I like to make homemade milk kefir with milk kefir grains and make them into a smoothie where I like to add things to help give me a boost of nutrition throughout the day. And I want to tell you about today's video sponsor, AG1. AG1 is so much more than just greens. It's a research-backed daily health drink that combines a multivitamin, a probiotic, and a blend of superfoods into one scoop. One scoop of AG1 per day supports energy, digestive regularity, immune defense, and a healthy mood. An AG1 welcome kit comes with a 30-day supply of AG1, 5 free travel packs, a shaker bottle, a metal canister, metal scoop, and a bottle of AG vitamin D3 plus K2. During the winter especially, I've really been enjoying taking a daily dose of vitamin D. And for me, I love bulking up my morning smoothie to provide myself with nutrition for the day. It's an easy on-the-go thing where I can really pack it full of nutrition. Now, you don't have to do it that way. You can also just add it directly to water or whatever works for you. Most New Year's resolutions are hard to maintain. AG1 is one of the easiest things you can do for your health. With just one scoop every morning, AG1 is the one habit you'll actually stick with. AG1 contains prebiotics and probiotics that work together to support your body's ability to break down food, alleviate occasional bloating, and support bowel regularity. It's also full of B vitamins, which helps to support energy, which is so important when we are trying to get done all the things that our homes require of us. AG1 is offering Farmhouse on Boone viewers $20 off your first purchase with my link drinkag1.com/Farmhouse on Boone. I'll also leave it in the description box below. Again, thank you so much, AG1, for sponsoring today's video. My next tip is to start. I know that sounds easy enough, but starting is truly the hardest part. Like I said, I had this moment each morning. I remember especially like one particular morning, I was just sitting there holding the baby, thinking, I have so much to do. I have dishes, laundry, I have to get in the groove and get going. And a lot of times we're waiting for that perfect time to start, when the kids are all happy, when our husband comes home from work, or some time when it's going to feel like, okay, I can do this uninterrupted and efficiently. But of course, if you're a mom, that time doesn't really come. And if it does, usually by that point, you've missed your moment. And what I've noticed is the task is never as hard as we build it up in our heads. It's like this with more than just homemaking. Often the things that we're putting off are easier than we're thinking. I have an example of this. The other day, I had gone somewhere all day the day before with all the kids. Luke had some things that he wanted to do outside of the house. The house did not get the attention that it needs on a daily basis when people are in and out of it and wearing clothes and eating food. The house was really disheveled, and it was a Saturday. And so on Saturdays, we don't really like to spend a ton of time at home usually, just because we spend time home all week. A lot of us are very extroverted. We like a lot of activities, but we buckle down throughout the week so that we can get things done. We can keep the house in the flow that it needs to be in. We can continue doing homeschool. But I felt like there is no way we're going to do anything fun today. We have to stay home, buckle down. This place is crazy. Like it felt just disheveled in every way possible. But it's interesting because I built it up so much in my head, but just our family all working together for, I'd say, about an hour, and it was looking good as new. And so I think sometimes we take these tasks, we build them up like they're a big giant monster and they're going to be so hard. And it's funny because no matter how many times I prove to myself that's not true, I've had huge messes before. I've been behind on housework before. And I know that with some quick, concentrated effort, it can all be pulled back together very quickly. And I need to just start and stop thinking. Thinking is no fun. Usually it's the doing that's fun. Once you get started, you get in the groove, you feel productive, and you have momentum. So that's my next tip, is to take advantage of momentum. A lot of times when it comes to motivation, it isn't there because it's all too easy to stay put, to stay not in motion. You just need some motion to keep moving. An object that is in motion stays in motion. I read a quote that said, "Don't wait for momentum, act for momentum." And once it's gone, it can be hard to recreate. It can happen. I have had so many times where I'm in the groove. I feel like I'm getting everything done on my to-do list each day. And when I wake up the next morning, I'm still in that momentum. But then there's seasons of life where, for one reason or the other, maybe it's holidays or a vacation or a time of sickness or pregnancy or newborn, where you get out of it and it has to be built back up. There's a saying that busy people get more done. And I think it's so true, because a lot of times we're waiting until we have it all figured out. Everything's perfect. Whereas a busy person, they're just going. They're not stopping to think and analyze everything. Action brings that clarity. And when you're in a state of momentum and you're just going and you're not second guessing and you're moving, it makes all the gears just turn a little bit better. And that brings me to my next point, to let go of perfection. Even when an idea isn't fully formed, it's moldable and it can be changed. I think we overthink our homes. Put the thrift shop art up and move it if you hate it, or donate it. And then there are certain things in our home that weigh us down that maybe don't need to be perfect. Like, don't worry about scrubbing the baseboards once a month or taking down the curtains to wash them every 6 months. Throw the clothes in the basket unfolded. Find ways to make your home systems work for your family, and don't make it perfect. I find this happens so much for me with YouTube. I put out a video every week, and I have for over 7 years now. Sometimes I feel inspired, sometimes I don't. I just have to turn the camera on and start filming when I know it won't be perfect. Sometimes it's fun, it's no big deal, and sometimes I'd rather not. The same can be said for homemaking. Sometimes I'm inspired to make my home beautiful, hang art, clean top to bottom, light a candle, and sometimes just the basics is good enough. But either way, the job doesn't stop just because I'm not feeling motivated or inspired. It won't be perfect, but steady action will get the job done.
I was afraid it would jump in. Like that.
Back to the busy people get more done. I think it can help when you're not in that current momentum of a busy person to set a deadline. It's counterintuitive, but the more one has going on, the more one tends to get done because there's no time to overthink the task or get overwhelmed with options and picking the best possible one. When there is endless time to do a task, our brains get in the way and we actually tend to go slower. So that's why I think it's important to set a deadline. The next is to create beauty to give the job a little more satisfaction. Do some things that seem pointless but inspire you, like adding pretty fabric to a lampshade, grabbing a few flowers and herbs at the grocery store to stuff in a mason jar and put on the table. That's something I need to do like right now. Learning how to make freshly milled sourdough come-up muffins, hand pouring a beeswax candle, or spending a little extra time making a fancy dinner or marshmallows. I can blaze through laundry, dishes, and cleanup time if it means I can spend a little more time making things beautiful. And my last tip is to make a reward at the end. There's another saying that work expands to fill the time. I find it to be so true. And if I have something I'm looking forward to, I can get the work I need to get done so much faster. This is why we don't do traditional homeschool or any kind of work on the business or anything on Fridays. Usually we use that as a field trip day. Last Friday, I went with my sister. We took the kids ice skating and to an indoor pool. There was kind of a rec area that we drove to, and it was just very fun. And having designated times like that, or homeschool co-op, we do that on Fridays as well. Every other Friday we do that. So it gives us something to look forward to at the end of the week. And when I have that, it's a reward that makes me just move faster on the work I have to get done with the business, with the house. Knowing that's coming is so motivating.